What's going on YouTube? Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do an unboxing of an open box motherboard that I picked up off Amazon. This is a Gigabyte X870 gaming Wi-Fi 7, of course on the X870 chipset. And I've had a really good experiences purchasing open box motherboards off Amazon. Actually, I've only had trouble with one of them. Now, when you get an open box product from Amazon, sometimes they're like scratch and dent in a way. They can have missing manuals or they can have some missing parts that actually come, but normally the motherboard is overall functional for what you actually needed to do. So if you're willing to live with that, you can get some great deals on Amazon on some open box motherboards and some other open box products as well. As you can see, the box is damaged here. I don't mind that. But I do prefer when they come in the original box. But sometimes they won't come in the original box. They'll come in other boxes. And, you know, I don't know all the details behind that. Sometimes people probably don't send stuff back. Or the box is so damaged they can't use it. So, easy day. So, like I said, this is a Gigabyte X870 Gaming X Wi-Fi 7. This board on Amazon right now, as I'm making this video, goes for $209. I picked this up for $109 before tax. So yeah, easy day. So let's get it out of the box. We won't take too long. Alright. This wasn't actually tape. Normally this is tape, but that's fine. Let's set this to the side. And you got bubble wrap in here. But at least you got the original, or at least I got the original box, some bubble wrap. And the manual's not in here, but you got the USB cables. Looks like there's two of them. And you've got the Wi-Fi 7 antenna. Also, this is Bluetooth as well. So yeah, easy day. So nothing else is in there. So we'll use the box as a test bench. Let me ground myself. Did that. I don't have one of those straps. I used to have one, a grounding strap, but I don't have one now. Alright, setting the board down. And the board actually looks pretty good. Hope I got that in the shot. Let's make sure. Alright, easy day. Alright, looks like you got a little thermal paste here on the memory slot. That's alright. Other than that, though, don't look bad at all. The battery's here. Let's take a look at the actual. Now this is different, but I don't think this is the original one, but that's fine as long as it's protecting the socket. So let's take a look at the socket. Y'all, excuse me. You always want to check the socket. Make sure that's good. Let's be careful you don't damage anything, because that would be terrible. All right. Looking at the socket, don't look like no bent pins, don't look like no indication of any burn marks or anything. So easy day. So let's put this back in there to protect the socket. I am going to use a contact frame, not necessarily for, you know, for the temperatures, but more so, you know, to keep the thermal paste out of. Let me get this back in here, right? I may have to edit this if I take too long. There we go. Easy day. Just to keep the thermal paste from, you know, getting everywhere. So, easy day. All right. Looks like the board's in good shape. Let's take off the M.2 cover here. Or heat sink. Those work fine. Take this off. Well, it looks like they used one of the thermal pads here because they took the plastic off, but the other two are there. So easy day. Don't look like no damage down in here. Alright. Not bad. Not bad at all. Other than the missing manual. It's also missing that little front panel header connection as well, but that's fine. Easy day. Alright. Boy, it looks great. Not having any issues, but of course I'm going to still test it. Another thing you want to do is when you get these motherboards, you still want to go and register them at the manufacturer in case you need to do an RMA, because just because it's open box, that doesn't mean you still don't get the full manufacturer's warranty. So hopefully whoever bought the motherboard for it before you did, for some reason or another, they didn't go in there and register it. So easy day. So you can go in there and do it. All right. So looking around the board here, still everything looks pretty good. So if I can go off memory, if I make a mistake, I'll put a pop-up on the screen. So you've got 4 DIMM slots that can support DDR5 up to 8200 megatransfers per second overclocked. Easy day. You got your 24 pin. Down here you got your HD USB header. You've got 2 addressable ARGB headers here. You've got 1 non-addressable RGB header. That's 12 volt, and these 2 here are 5 volt, if I remember correctly. You've got 2 USB headers. I always forget about the TPS, and I can't remember what the other one is, but that one's a TPS, and I can't remember what that one is. I'll put a pop-up on the screen. You got 4 pin headers here. 3, I'm sorry, not 4, but you got 3 4-pin headers for fans. That's PWM. You got your front panel header here for power and everything. LED if you got a LED for your hard drives, or hard drive LED. And that's the part that's actually missing, that one that brings everything together that Gigabyte gives you. And you can just plug it in, but that's fine. That's an easy day. Alright, turning it around on this side. On the back of the board here. Right, you got your USB 2.0, you got the HDMI 2.1, you got your 2 USB 40 gigabit per second USB-Cs back here. That's a USB 3.2 Gen 1 header. You got 3 of those. Those are the blue ones. You got your USB 3.1 Gen 2 header. You got your 2.5 gigabit LAN. You've got your Wi-Fi antenna connection here, and then you got your audio ports. And up here you've got your Q flash button if you want to flash the BIOS without actually having the CPU in there. So easy day. Alright, YouTube, looking at the right side of the board, you got your USB 3.2 Gen 1 right angle connection here. You got 4 USBs. You got your USB Type-C front panel 20 gigabit per second connection here. You got a 4-pin PWM fan header. Got your 24-pin power connection here. You've got 4 LEDs that allow you to troubleshoot if there's any issues. It doesn't have a postcode readout. A lot of motherboards have them these days, even down to the upper mid-range, but not on this one, so easy day. So that might be a thing for people who ain't that experienced, to try to get a board that has a postcode readout. But LEDs work fine as well. You also got a power and a reset button here. You got a reset jack here. You got a not a 5-pin, but you got a 5 volt 3-pin ARGB header there as well. Alright, let's get to the top of the motherboard and finish this up. But here you got a 8-pin and a 4-pin EPS connections to power your CPU, which you're only going to use the 8-pin. You shouldn't have to use that one. This isn't a motherboard for extreme overclocking. And you got your CPU header here and your CPU op header here as well. So actually, that's one there, and that's one. I think that's a CPU fan, and that's an op one over there. If I got that wrong, I'll put a correction. I ain't got my reading glasses on, so easy day. So that's the board in a nutshell. It also has a 16 +2 VRM, and it has aluminum heat sinks for those. Like I said earlier, it supports DDR5 8200 mega transfers per second overclocked, but I don't know if that will be in all 4 DIMM slots, probably 2. And it supports 256 gigabytes of actual memory. Oh, I didn't talk about the PCIe slots. This is a PCIe 5.0 X16 slot, and these are PCIe, I think 3.0, but they're only X1 off the chipset. So easy day. And this one is your Gen 5 NVMe. You get 4 lanes off the CPU for this one. And then these two share lanes off the chipset for PCIe Gen 4, which will be 2x2. If you use the one in the bottom, you get by 4. So yeah, open box, normally $209. Got it for $111 after tax. $109 before tax, if I remember correctly. No, I'm sorry. It was $118.01 after tax. And the board was was it 109 or 111? I'll put the pop up on the screen. I can't remember, but I know it was $118.01. So, you know, I'm not a, you know, super level type builder when it comes to building PCs. You know, I'm not like those other big channels that get it all in depth in that, but I am an experienced builder. So if you're an experienced builder, you know, I would actually buy one of these and call it a day. But, you know, if I was a new builder, I probably want to go new, but to each his own. And as you can see, this board's in good condition. And there's so many YouTube videos out there that show you how to do things. Even if you're a non-experienced builder and you want to get your open box motherboard, I think you'd be just fine. And like I said, I've only had issues with one, and that was an Asus B850 motherboard that I had to return because it wasn't posting at all. But I couldn't see any physical damage or anything, so I don't understand why it didn't post. But of course, I don't have the equipment to test that type of stuff. All I know is I put the CPU in, put the memory in. I know the CPU was okay at the time, and the memory was good. And yeah, it just didn't work, and I sent it back. But I'm gonna stop rambling on. I think I got a good deal here. I am gonna put a AMD Ryzen 5 7500F in here, so that's why I wanted to get this motherboard, which I'm not going to be able to use the HDMI 2.1 connection on this motherboard because that CPU doesn't have an iGPU, but easy day. So I plan on putting this in and I'll finish the video, I won't make it too long. I'm going to put this in a Montech King 95 Non-Pro, which I got from Newegg a while back. I got it for a good deal, like $88. That case is going for like $169. $139 is the cheapest I saw, and that was a black one. And I'm gonna put 32 gigabytes of Corsair Dominator Platinum DDR5 5600 mega transfers per second memory in it. Of course, I already had that memory. I didn't buy it. I bought that memory when it was cheap. Well, somewhat cheap. I paid what, $230 for it at the time. I'm gonna put a Samsung 980 Pro 2 terabyte in here. I'm gonna, for the GPU, I may do RTX 2080 because this is somewhat a budget build, or I'll do a RX 7600 XT, which I plan on doing in here, either or. And the power supply I already got, it's gonna be an EVGA 1300 watt power supply that I've had for years now. It's been somewhat bulletproof. I actually had already made that twice, but easy day. And yeah, that's about it. And the fans will be Thermaltake swap fans, which I've already got 3 in there, but they're going to be different colors. The ones on the bottom of the case are going to be white. Then the one exhaust fan that I'm going to use is going to be black. And of course, I'm using all of that because I already have it. So I rambled on long enough. Again, you can get some good deals on some open box stuff. You know, again, I'm experienced with building these things, and I know how to troubleshoot most things. But I can't troubleshoot a dead board. But other than that, it should be an easy day. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. To God be the glory. All of you be blessed. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Either way, easy day. And have a fantastic day. Later.